The full list of enchanted cards for Shimmering Skies have been officially revealed. So sit back and let's take a look at all 18 of them together. What's up, Illumineers? It's Mateus here, and it's time to cover the enchanted cards for Lorcana's 5th set, Shimmering Skies. But before we get started, there's a few interesting things to note when analyzing these cards as a whole. Most of the cards use a unique crayon art style, which is very striking. Set 5 sticks to the formula and have 3 enchanted cards per ink type, 2 being character cards and a third one of other card type. All 18 cards have a similar festive and vibrant motif, closely representing the set's story, with all Glimmer celebrating their victory against Ursula with a big party at the Great Luminary. Personally, out of all previous enchanted art directions, this is by far our favorite one. But one of the biggest differences for Enchanted in this set, in Shimmering Skies, the layout and foil finish for the enchanted cards have changed quite a lot. What do I mean? Well, let's take a look. Enchanted cards from sets 1 to 4 had the full bottom of the card blocked out as a text area, occupying this whole section. With this new Enchanted, the card's content has been visually organized within a square container, leaving the edges of the card space for the art to expand across it, making it look even more like a full art. This container has also been blurred, compared to the previous hard background that was used. With this change in layout, a few other modifications can also be noted. The size of some of the cards' stats, the left alignment of character cards classification, and also some changes in the font and colors used. Another noticeable change is that the foil finishing has a more metallic look, but these are more easily seen in person. Overall, this new take celebrates the art of these beautiful cards even further. We are huge fans of that. Now let's focus on the enchanters themselves. Starting with Amba, we have 2 character cards and an action. First up is Prince Naveen, Ukulele Player. With the increasing popularity and recent arrival of Princess and the Frog in Disney parks in North America, it makes a lot of sense to have Prince Naveen taking on a spot here. It is amazing to see him representing a slot among the enchanted cards, and the art is very fitting with Shimmering Skies' theme. It is worth saying that you'll see a pattern in this video, where we are really struggling to find flaws with these enchanted cards. We're personally big fans of this set's choices and art style altogether. Naveen's legendary counterpart is no different though. When first revealed, we shared the sentiment that this has gotta be one of the most beautiful art in a Disney Lorcana card. We love everything about it, but so do we with the enchanted variant. However, because perhaps of its posing and his expression looking straight to the player, we find that the legendary version looks more like what we know about Naveen, while the enchanted takes on a more romantic approach. Vanellope von Schwitz's Sugar Rush Princess is the second character card for Amba. With the announcement of this card joining one of the enchanted slots, there will be 3 variations of this card for Shimmering Skies. The rare counterpart, this enchanted version, and finally the TCG D23 collection version, having Vanellope representing the 5th set as a whole for the collector's piece. Vanellope taking on this slot makes a lot of sense to us. Wrecker-Roth plays a big part in the marketing of Shimmering Skies. When looking at her rare counterpart, this card is not falling behind at all. If anything, they are actually quite similar from the colors all the way to the overall posing. This is likely the card that had the most similarities between the regular and enchanted designs. We do, however, quite like the glowing effect on Vanellope's signature on her enchanted variant. What do you all think about it? Revive, an action card, is the last enchanted for Amba. This is yet another beautiful art from Aisha Dermagambetova, making it 2 for this set's enchanted cards. Even though we quite like how this card looks like and its more carnival visuals to it, we can't help but compare it to its rare counterpart. They each have their own strengths, and the enchanted version definitely brings more of the festive theme to it. However, we feel that some of the personality and characteristics of Mother Gothel get lost in its enchanted form, almost as if after she got revived, she realized that she wants to be good and no longer an evil mother. We are also a big fan of how ethereal and mysterious the rare version look like by comparison, so it is a hard one for us to choose when rating this enchanted card. In Amethyst, we also have 2 character cards and an action. The first character card is Archimedes' Electrified Owl. And look at this. How can we say anything about this card other than that artist Andrew Thompson has nailed every single detail about it. This card brings joy and excitement in so many levels, with a beautiful mix of psychedelic colors and movement. Archimedes' card variant is the second uncommon card to receive the enchanted treatment, after Cusco's Palace from Into the Inklands. This shows that not all enchanted cards have to be of a high rarity. The uncommon counterpart is very unique on its own right as well, really managing to capture the contrast of the electric purple against the dark skies above the Great Luminary. Before seeing the enchanted variant, we thought this card looked sensational, as it still is, but after the enchanted variant was revealed, it just electrifies us on another level. The second character card under Amethyst is Olaf, Happy Passenger. Honestly, I think most of us were expecting that the legendary genie main attraction, or maybe Elsa, Fifth Spirit, will take this slot. So it was a huge and incredible surprise to see Olaf here instead, especially for all of those Frozen fans that already have an Elsa and Anna card among their Enchanted collection. This is the perfect move from Ravensburger. And I gotta tell you, I didn't think I would love this card as much as I do, but this card is insane. Olaf's positive vibes and vibrancy are on full display here. And I love that the card also celebrates not only Olaf, but Marshmallow too, along with all of the other snow creatures. The rare counterpart takes the art in a more light approach and keeps the focus on only Olaf and Marshmallow. Charlie and I are big fans of this art as well, and not to mention the actual ability in this card. We can't wait to try it out in our decks. Even though I really like both arts, there's something about the Enchanted version that makes me really happy. Finders Keepers and Action card is the third and last Enchanted for Amethyst. There's a lot to comment about this card if you read between the lines. But before we do so, let's take a moment to appreciate this fantastic art from Rachel Elise. We believe the Enchanted variant of this card has a lot to tell about this set's backstory and theme, that might have been missed by some players if not paying closer attention. Let's compare this with its uncommon variant. In the uncommon card, we can see both Iago and Jafar. They are both among the party on the ground level, with Iago bringing the magic lamp to Jafar. However, in its enchanted form, Jafar can't be seen in this card. But instead, we see that Iago is actually flying towards the Great Luminary, probably with the goal to bring the same magic lamp to Jafar, who is likely now invading the Great Luminary. If you remember, this fits really well with the theories that the big baddie for this set is Jafar, and he's been using of his powers and Iago's help to steal the other half of the Hexwell crown. When it comes to the art, simply because the Enchanted variant is much more vibrant, and the presence of the fireworks and the party elements is more apparent, we gotta give this one to its Enchanted art. In Emerald, we have 2 character cards and a song. First is Clarabelle Light on Her Hooves. I can't tell you how much I was waiting for a Clarabelle card to be revealed as an Enchanted. As a matter of fact, Shimmering Skies didn't just give us 1 but 2 cards that I really waited for so long. More on that in a bit. This art from Nathalie Dombois makes all this wait pay off. Clarabelle looks so angelic and really in her element in this beautiful gown and in front of this amazing party setting. The green colors work really well with the yellow and pinkish tones. Clarabelle's legendary variant does not fall behind visually at all. With her posing really raising her hoof from the ground, it highlights her Charleston dancing skills and reminds us how fun she is all around. I honestly can't pick one art over the other. We're just very thankful that we get both of them this set. The second character card under Emerald is Scar Vengeful Lion. This art from Dominic Maia hits all the right spots and delivers everything that we would expect from a Scar card. The regal posing, his instance above the rocks, his sassy looks, and not to forget his classic scene scratching Simba's mark on the wall. As with Clarabelle, the mix of green, pinkish, and yellow colors really works here. I honestly believe that this card will be one of those that will be remembered by fans for many years to come. Scar's rare variant, which by the way is the star of a Roaring Ghastly's new starter deck for Shimmering Skies, is actually very similar to the Enchanted counterpart, in exception to its art style finishes. While the Enchanted utilizes the more crayon-like art style, the rare version looks more like the other cards from the game. Talking about the new starter decks for Shimmering Skies, don't forget to check our other videos where we analyze these decks in full. You're Welcome, a song card, is the third and last Enchanted for Emerald. I'm actually very surprised that this song took this long to come to Disney Lorcana. Huge fans of Moana, this card brings us a lot of joy. It is no surprise that we love the art, given that its artist is Stefano Zanchi. What I especially love about this card is how Maui is really contrasted against the more 2D cardboard-looking elements, which includes coconuts and banana trees, to the small people on the back. Even though we absolutely love the looks of this card, we do find that when comparing it side by side with the other Enchanted from this set, this one in particular doesn't seem to follow the same crayon-looking art style as much. Having said that, there's nothing wrong with that. Its counterpart is yet another uncommon card. The card is also beautiful. No wonder it is part of so many of the marketing materials for Shimmering Skies. We like how the background colors merge together into a gradient with the lighting in the scene. In general, just because of its uniqueness and particularly the cardboard scenery behind Maui, we prefer the Enchanted card in this instance. In Ruby, we have 2 character cards and a location. Donald Duck Peislinger was the first Enchanted card to be announced for Shimmering Skies back in mid-July. The community really took this reveal in a very positive manner, giving us our first look at the radical changes to the art style and layout of the Enchanted cards, setting a huge precedent for all the following Enchanted cards. Because Donald Duck is my favorite Disney character ever, This is the second character that I have been personally waiting to get an enchanted since the first chapter. And you know what? I am so glad that Ravensburger waited this long and chose this version of Donald Duck to make an enchanted out of it. This is definitely my #1 chase for the whole of Shimmering Skies. Its legendary counterpart also holds a very special place in my heart. The art from Cesar Vergara has so much motion, and Donald is in his full element here. Both versions work so well on their own, and they have their own set of strengths. Personally, what I love even more in the Enchanted variant is the usage of all of the different sweets and food around Donald Duck, more than just the amazing meatballs and pie. Do you love this card as much as I do? The second character card on the Ruby is Robin Hood Sharpshooter. Let me start by saying that everything I just said about Donald Duck is applicable to how Charlie feels about this Robin Hood card. This is Charlie's chase for this set. This art from Vanessa Morales also brings a lot of motion, and we love the festive party background, tents, and all the lighting juxtaposition. I think what makes us love this card even more is because when compared with the previous Robin Hood Enchanted from Into the Inklands, we felt that the card never felt that lively. This new one, however, brings that and more. It is an explosion of colors, and Robin looks so cute with his sneaky smile on his face. Motion, sassy pose, and epicness is also part of its legendary counterpart, making us love this variant as well. But the vibrance of the Enchanted version is by far miles away from it, and with all respect, we would pick the Enchanted art over the regular one at any day. Ratigan's Party, City Backroom location card is the last Enchanted in Ruby. Similar to our surprise back with Olaf, I believe the whole community was expecting the Sugar Rush Speedway location card will be the one here in this list. I, for one, am very glad that Ravensburger picked Ratigan's Party instead. We are huge fans of the Great Mouse Detective, and as soon as they revealed the uncommon variant of this card, I've been dreaming and imagining what an enchanted version would look like. The uncommon variant frames this card from a different angle, further away and on high ground, while the enchanted tries to frame it as if you are one of the rats in the city backroom enjoying the party. In Sapphire, we have 2 character cards and an action. Mufasa, ruler of Pride Rock, gets his first enchanted after being featured twice as a legendary card. This enchanted variant takes place in the nighttime, and Mufasa has a more friendly and proud look. Its legendary counterpart brings a more serene-looking Mufasa, while taking place in the daytime. We've seen a similar approach between the Pride Lands regular and enchanted variants, back Into the Inklands. We quite like when they do this with this card, showing it at 2 different points of views. Both cards have this ethereal energy floating around Mufasa. Its legendary seems to be made of water, while the one in the enchanted card doesn't have the same definition, but it still brings a lot of motion. I personally can't tell for sure which of the 2 arts I prefer, but I really love the differences between them. King Candy Sweet Abomination is the second character card for Sapphire, and this card looks so good! There's something about mixing pink and blue in the same scene that always gets me. It really brings a cotton candy looking vibe to it, which is very fitting with the theme. His posing and how much his body takes off the card space also looks super cool. Given that this is the first time we see King Candy in Disney Lorcana, we are very happy that they made him an enchanted card. Yet another uncommon, its counterpart has all of its creepiness as well, but perhaps because of his posing and scale, it doesn't look as threatening as the enchanted form. Also, I wish more of the pinkish colors were spread around this card. Having said that, this is another great example when expecting an enchanted to push the whole vibe of an art to a grand new level. The Royal Tantrum action card is the last enchanted in Sapphire. When this card was first revealed, a lot of people in the community said that this is exactly what they were expecting from Scrooge McDuck's enchanted card back Into the Inklands. Well, unfortunately we didn't get this back then, but we definitely do with this new card. This is 100% my second chase card for Shimmering Skies. The lighting and mixture of colors from this art is out of this world, you can almost taste it. Royal Tantra's rare variant is also very expressive and expensive looking. We were big fans of the art already before the enchanted was revealed, but I think that after we see and compare it with its enchanted counterpart, it is really hard to even try competing. The rare variant has a more 2D artistic approach, while the enchanted one almost looks 3D, with the right balance of lighting and shadow. In Steel we have 2 character cards and a location. Snow White Fair-Hearted takes on the first spot in Steel, making this the second time Snow White is represented in enchanted art. The art itself is amazing, and I can already imagine countless people cosplaying this. We really love how empowering Snow White looks. However, part of me wishes that this card features a similar vibrant background to what we've seen in other enchanted cards from this set. When put side by side next to all of the other enchanted cards for Shimmering Skies, in exception to Amber's Revive, we find that all of that party vibe got lost here. This is not to say that the card isn't beautiful, because it is. There's no other way around it. But it is just not our favorite for this set. Its super rare variant is also very similar in terms of background and color choices. Also a beautiful but empty looking card. But because this variant isn't enchanted, we can easily look past it, since the setting fits really well with the narrative they are trying to tell here and the other 7 Dwarves cards for this set. We also think that it was a really nice touch to have the blue bird carrying over between both cards. Arthur King Victorious is the second character card for Steel. Look at this! How can you not love this card straight away? We love the curiosity on Arthur's face and how impressed he looked with himself. It is super interesting to see the artistic style here as well, with those floating pixel-looking pieces of energy around him. It almost looks like he got his sword straight from somewhere in the Wreck-It-Ralph universe. And check out Excalibur here! It looks like Arthur is ready to go out and explore Lingrave. We love this card. Its legendary counterpart is another example of a beautiful card that deserves as much attention as the enchanted variant. To be completely honest, I don't even know which one of the two I prefer. We really like all the details in the back, the different building heights, and the colors of the village. I'm just truly happy that we get to keep both. And the final enchanted for Shimmering Skies is Badanon Villain Support Center location card. Oh man, this is another amazing looking enchanted card from Rachel Elise. As soon as we saw this art being featured on Disney Lorcana's official website, we guessed that this would be one of the enchanted cards. And here it is in its full glory. Again, we can see a nice mix of blue, pink, and yellow tones in this card, which is always a big win. Even though at times, if looking at it too fast, I would imagine this card belonging under the Sapphire Ink categorization. This whole scene from Wreck-It-Ralph is so fun, so it is great to see it feature here across 2 different card variants. Its rare counterpart brings it back to the Steel Ink color palette and introduces different bad guys, making it even cooler to collect both of these variations. This art is also very beautiful, but the Enchanted takes the win for me on this one with no doubt. And there we have it, this brings us to the end of this video. What did you think about the choice of cards for this set and also its artistic approach? Let us know in the comments section what your chase cards are for this set. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for this coming week, as we'll have more and more videos covering everything related to Shimmering Skies over the next week. We also want to give a huge member shout out for all the members out there helping us growing this channel. Your support really helps us bring in the best quality out of our content, so thank you so much. And for everybody else, thanks for watching, and as always, happy questing!